Hey folks, Lone Gold Miner here, and I'm heading on a little trip towards Bodie, California from Mid Pines, California. And I thought of doing something fun and dropping a treasure. Kind of very similar to Miner Maws. Miner Maw, if you're listening, I'm going to pass on my last find. We appreciate you, and I thought I'd just continue, how do you say it? Pass it on? That's what it is. Let's pass it on and try to encourage more people to get out and do some prospecting and metal detecting and whatnot. So this piece here came from Alaska, and I'm going to pass this one on to whoever goes on a quest on this treasure hunt. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to drop it off until I get there, but it'll be between Mid Pines and Bodie. Once I get there, I'll give you a few little hints, and it shouldn't be a problem. Not going to make it very hard. But what we're going to do is we're going to add this Alaskan nugget from Dawson City, Yukon. Look at the provenance. How special is that? But I'm also going to add on some of my own treasures. One is two postcards done by an old friend of mine. He drew this original photo that I have at my home of a prospector with a butterfly on top of his head. For those that don't know the significance of butterflies and miners, well, do a little research and look it up. But I'm going to include two brand new postcards of that. I'm going to include a Civil War dog tag. It's a copy, of course. I'm going to also include some minerals. We're going to include amethyst. We're going to put that in the treasure box. We're going to put this dog tag in there. We're going to put in a bottle of little gems. We're also going to put in a Chinese coin, an authentic Chinese coin that I found myself. Okay? This is really cool. Let's add some more stuff. I'm also going to add a little marble. Hey, maybe a kid finds it. He likes to use marbles. This isn't a very old marble, by the way. I'm also going to include a buffalo nickel. There's a buffalo right there. Not sure what the date is, but I'm throwing it in there. Beautiful patina. I'm also throwing in a silver mercury dime. Let's put that in the treasure box that Miner Mall provided all of us. I'm also going to include a couple broken Chinese coins, which is kind of cool too. Anyhow, folks, hope you find this fun, and I'll continue riding my bike and head out to Bodie and check out this view right here. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Talk to you soon. Take care. Hey folks, Lone Gold Miner here. We just made it through the entrance of Yosemite National Park in California. Look at this beauty that we have here. There's the river down below, and we're heading over towards Bodie Ghost Town. We're gonna check that out, and yeah, wanted to stop here, take a little water break, and I think we're not going to drop the treasure here yet. We're Yosemite Valley. Well, we're going towards Yosemite Valley, as you see right there. And then if you take 120 over Tioga Road, which is an incredible road if you've never been through there, takes you to the east side of the Sierras, which is more of a high desert towards Lee Vining. And then you go north on 395 to Bodie. Anyhow, here's the treasure. And I'm really looking forward to hiding this thing, and hope you guys enjoy this. Like I said, I'm paying this forward. Miner Mall is the lady that drops all these treasures. I used her chest right there, and we all appreciate her. So I'm going to continue on my journey here, and hope you enjoy it. And I'll stop along the way, and you know, if there's any sights, stuff like that, take a few minutes. But what I really want to do is I want to get over to the east side and check that out. See you there soon. Well, here we are, folks. We're at Olmsted Point inside Yosemite, and should we drop the treasure off over here somewhere? Let me think about that. Not sure if you can see Tenaya Lake. It's way out there. Should we drop the treasure chest at Tenaya Lake on the shores of Tenaya? It kind of looks like pirate treasure, doesn't it? I don't know. I'll have to think about that too. All right, let's keep heading towards Lee Vining, folks, and Bodie. Well, here we are at Lake Tenaya, folks. Check out the scenery here. If you ever get a chance to come over to Lake Tenaya, come on by, take a swim. It's pretty cold water. It's pretty much all snow melt. And I don't know, I'm thinking here, maybe, since we're here, should we bury it? Should we bury the treasure chest somewhere here? What do you think, treasure chest? Should we bury it here? Let me think about that. Well, we're out of Yosemite Park, folks. And now we're on the Mono County side. This is part of Mono Lake right here. Right up there, you can still see some snow. Look at that. Man, well, we're about 9,500 feet up high. So it's not surprising. But beautiful scenery. I'm still trying to decide where to hide the treasure chest, where to drop it for you. I want you to all see this beautiful part of the country we have here. And if you choose to go on this quest, this adventure, you're definitely going to see some beautiful stuff, especially going over through Yosemite and Tioga and down into the high desert. But I just cannot decide where I'm going to drop this treasure chest full of cool little treasures. What do you think, treasure chest? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to hide you here, Mono Lake? I just cannot decide. Well, we will see. Here we are at Tioga Pass. This is a pretty cool spot. I don't know, I'm kind of considering maybe hiding it up top of that hill there. Or perhaps down below. Haven't decided yet. I'm still looking for a good spot to drop this treasure chest off. Should we do it along the Tioga Pass? Perhaps up there. Yeah, I know I'm being a little silly here today, but you know what? Why not? Anyhow, if nobody's ever been here, if any of you's never been through Tioga Pass, this is a pass that connects the west side to the east side of the Sierra Mountains. Quite an engineering feat to create this road all the way down. Can you imagine the effort? Look at that slide down there. Dropped off from there every winter when the snowpack comes in here. There's always some avalanches. Obviously, there's one down there. Anyhow, not too sure yet where to drop off the treasure. Oh, there you are. Yes or no? Treasure box. Okay, well, we'll see. Here we are at Mono Lake, folks. Mono Lake, the east side of the Sierras. I don't know, what do you think? Should we drop off the treasure over here? There's the tufas over there. Those are those things growing out of the lake. Alkaline minerals. That down there, that black part is like a little island over there, as you can see. So, I don't know, you tell me. Should we drop the chest over there? Perhaps on the island. I can't do that, I didn't bring my kayak. Anyhow, folks. I don't know, let me think about it. Here we are, folks. We made it to almost the entrance of Bodie. Bodie State Park, 3 miles ahead, historic landmark. Park hours are 9 to 6. Just wanted you to take a look at some of this terrain out here. We're in a high desert. We're about 7,500 feet up. And check it out. High desert, but at the distance, you can still see snow up there, snow patches. Isn't that amazing? Nothing here. It's very desolate. Imagine being here in the 1800s mining gold. Anyhow, am I gonna hide the treasure here? I don't know if I'm gonna hide the treasure here. A lot of good spots right here. Look at that. I could go behind a sign and I could put it, oh, here we are, little treasure box. Look at you. We're gonna hide you here behind this sign, the 3-mile marker. Oh, I don't know, folks. Are we allowed to leave a treasure near here? I'm not sure. Well, let me think about it. We made it to Bodie Ghost Town, one of the most famous ghost towns in the West. Check this stuff out. Look at this hoist right here. That's some big iron right there. So basically there's portals all over these hills. You can see some of the mounds up top of there. Look at this thing. Dang. Great place to visit. I come here once or twice a year. Over there, that great building over there, that's where they have the processing, where they processed the ore and went down into that building there, and that's where they have the ore crushers, the stamp mills. There's iron all over here. A lot of trash. This site right here is basically what they call arrested development, arrested decay. They don't do much to preserve it. They just allow it to denigrate. I don't know if that makes much sense because in 20, 30 years, most of these buildings would be collapsed, considering the snow that falls upon here and the weather they have here. It's extremely cold. So I don't know, I'll have to ask one of the park rangers, state rangers, what that's all about. I also think they wouldn't too kindly about me leaving a treasure chest here. As innocent as it is, the idea, this is the California state. They probably consider it littering. And God forbid I get a fine and they track me down. So throughout Bodie and the site, you're going to see a lot of rusta relics, I call them, mining artifacts, ore bins, ore carts, gears of all sorts, hoists, and whatnot. Oh, as I walk these grounds, I see so many nice places, hiding places. Am I going to do it? I don't know, folks. All right, here is a little ore crusher right here with a shovel. Pretty cool. So I'm walking up Main Street. You got to remember, most of this town burnt years ago. The last resident people who lived here moved out of here in the early 1940s. And after that, a short while later, the state took it over and preserved it. So we all get to enjoy it now. Here's the schoolhouse. I'm looking through the window here and you can see that the schoolhouse, everything's in there. The papers, books, little jack-o'-lanterns there. I guess they were working on projects for Halloween. And there's a map over there. Pretty cool chalkboard. A lot of kids don't know what a chalkboard is anymore. Blackboard. And I think this is where the teacher, that's her desk right there. Cool. All right, let's continue. Anyhow, not far from the schoolhouse, you have the mine right there, the processing plant. That's where the stamp mills are. You look at up top of there, top of that little hill, and the mounds of waste. So there's a lot of portals over there to go underground. There's miles and miles of underground tunnels here. Check out the old fire hydrant. Pretty decorative. Oh, look at that. 1879, California. Garrett. What does it say? Garrett Matter, San Francisco. Must be the iron foundry that built this. Pretty cool. guess this is what they mean by arrested decay. They put up supports and let Mother Nature take its course. There's an old wagon wheel. Check that out. Pretty cool. What do we got here? Wow. That's an oldie. Well, look what I found. So in the winter, this place would have a lot of snow and snow drifts. And look at that. They had sleds. Is that cool or what? Imagine being a kid growing up here. Get to slide on one of those things or travel to school with that. If you're lucky, huh? Okay, check this out. I found the fun place of the town. Looks like the bar. Pretty cool. Check out the bar stools in there. Is that pretty cool? That's neat. Okay, so what I hear is a lot of the bars here, I could be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure the last time I was here, the brothel was up these stairs, and right up there were the rooms. What would a ghost town, a mining town be without a brothel? Not a whole lot. So next to the brothel and bar, you have what appears to be a gymnasium, a recreational place. There's some weights, wooden floor, little cooking stove, and whatnot. Looks like a social gathering place. Nice. I mean, in order to have a mine the size of Bodie, you have to have services and all kinds of services, or you wouldn't get men up here. These mining towns, you know, there was money to be made, gold to be extracted, and money to be spent. And up here in the West, at these ghost towns and mining towns, imagine life was pretty wild here. And I heard too, there was a lot of, arguments settled by the end of the barrel, which is no surprise. Anyway, pretty neat, guys. I'm not going to get, I don't have a whole lot of time here. I have to get back. But I do want to stop at the cemetery and take a look at the cemetery. So the cemetery is right up top of the hill. And then you have the residents of Bodie who were buried up top within the gates. And it was fenced. And then back there, which they don't advertise or anything, that's where the Chinese were buried, totally separate from the Anglos, as far as I understand it. They had their own cemetery over there. But outside of this cemetery, where the townsfolk was, the Anglos were buried, on the outside of the fence, they buried the infamous people who were considered pariah. You think about, the people who worked at the brothels. But ironically, they serviced the residents of Bodie, and but they weren't good enough to be buried with them up there. So we're going to go visit one person up there that was buried. And I forget her name. I think it's May, Rose May. I'm not sure, but we're going to go up there and check before we leave. Before we get up to the cemetery, we're going to have to cross this little bridge. I suppose in the winter, the snow melt. There's water going through here. So the Bodie Cemetery is still in use. Like I said, the residents who lived in town, a lot of them left in the 40s. And, as children, and they still may be alive, and they still have the right to be buried on this location. So that building right there is where they prepare the body, and they bring it in the horse-drawn hearse And I suppose people gather here and pay their respects. But anyhow, as you see, well, let's go take a look at this monument right here. The inscription on that is really hard to read. So we'll move on and we'll find another one. Hopefully something of interest. Well, here's a fella, James Perry from Ireland. He died in 1896. He was 83 years old. Who said people back then didn't live long? You know, they did. Here's some more. Here's a Solomon. He died in 1904. He was 49 years old. Native of West Virginia. And I suppose these two are they're probably family members. What do we got here? Pauline, wife of W.J. McClough, 1883 to 1909. So what I understand is some of the plots are marked, and then as you see there's some barren land here. There are some plots here that are unmarked. They're just lost. So there could be people buried on these trails. We don't know. So anyway, let's go look for our most famous person here. One who wasn't who wasn't considered honorable to be buried among these people. So let's go check it out. There's the fence right there. And we're just about done with Bodie. And when we pay a visit, let's go this way. To this site, we're going to have to bury the treasure chest. If you made it this far, then you're going to have the clue that's going to give you an ability to find this treasure. I was right. Rosa May. This is the site, supposedly, outside the fence, where she was buried. Anyhow, she worked at one of these brothels, and when she passed on, they buried her outside the cemetery. All right, folks, hope you enjoy this. I'm gonna get on my bike and I'm gonna cruise probably out of the immediate site where Bodie is and just go on the outside, and we'll find a location to put the treasure chest. And I hope one of yous, someone gets to come out here and actually find it. You know, I did that just to promote people to go outdoors. We have a lot of places to see in this country, California too, and go out there and enjoy the outdoors. Get in your car. It's not an expensive trip, like you have to fly somewhere or fly abroad. We have so much right here. Get on out there and get her done. All right, see you folks soon. Anyhow, folks, we're gonna hide the treasure chest. We are, if you're heading to Bodie, we're about a half a mile out from the turnoff, from the 120. And I didn't know, but this is known as Dogtown over here. And it's a site of the first major gold rush to California's eastern slope of the Sierra Nevada. Dogtown derived its name from a popular miners' term for camps with huts or hovels. And right behind there's a nice creek. Look at that. Look at those tailing piles down there. Pretty cool history in the eastern slope. All right, folks, hope you enjoy it. Hope you find it. We'll touch it off with a can and a rock inside of it. All right, good luck, treasure hunters.